What's up, everybody? I don't work at Frinco anymore, and I haven't been able to share my side of the story for a while. But luckily, I just found out they put Mark down as my name on the NDA, so that makes it null and void. So now it's official, I can go ahead and tell you, and you can hear it directly from me. I don't work at Frinco anymore. I did leave to start my own company, Fundy Solutions. I'll go ahead and tell you guys why I left Frinco, where it all started, where I'm headed on my next journey. But before we get into the future, I think it's important to tell the story of how we ended up here. This email was the starting point for Frinco, and at this point, it was just a group of guys living high on life, having all the fun they could with just minimum wage funding. It didn't matter what Frinco was doing. We always found a way to do it our way and feed off of each other. Joey, Jacob, and I met in grade school and remained friends throughout the years. It wasn't until the high school years that Frinco started to develop. Nick was Jacob's coworker and brother to Alex, and naturally, we all started to hang out together once we found out that Nick had a sick BMW. Steel didn't come along until we needed another member of the four-wheeler gang to steal parts off of once one of the four-wheelers was down. So when I got that email, I knew my place in the world. Within a few months, we'd started making the dream come true. Joey found the cleanest DSM money could buy within a 200-mile radius of our campus location, with aspirations of becoming one of the DSM lords of our town. Soon after the car was in Joey's possession, he started setting up races and taking down cars one by one until the curse of the DSM hit. He didn't get the danger to manifold notification, and the 50 PSI he was pushing turned his main bearings into glitter. Naturally, this drove the first project for Frinco, to rebuild Joey's engine, and of course, this is where the feud began. We had just got the car into the shop when frustrations had reached their tipping point due to Domino's not ordering their 5-5-5 deal and trying to force 5 pizzas on us. Who in the world just wants 5 pizzas? So in the meantime, Alex found a box of saltine crackers and bet everyone he could fit the entire sleeve in his mouth. Well, after succeeding and paying him the money owed, we didn't have the funds to finish Joey's build. Joey's dreams of becoming a DSM lord quickly faded, and he was forced to sell the car. This later became known as the Saltine Crack-Off of '09. This changed everything for the dynamic of the group. It was our first big failure with no clear way to recover. It was years later down the line when I took on a project for Race Wars. I picked up a 1997 BMW M3 that I decided to put a Ford 302 in. This consisted of countless hours of scouring the forums to come up with a game plan on how I was going to do the swap while I was commandeering my parents' garage as they were on vacation for a week. This project brought out my ability to make decisions on my own and how I wanted to do things without any pushback, and bring a project from fantasy to reality. But once I had the car running and driving, I knew I had what it took to do things on my own. So the countdown had begun.
Well, could be worse.
Now that I've broken free from the corporate trap, I'm making decisions on what I want to do versus taking the demands of the crew, like ordering food and filing the taxes. And of course, the pranks have died down. I no longer have to worry about walking to my car to find a full-length decal all over it. I can see now that I'd given Frinco my everything since 2009 and needed to go from being told an agenda to creating and doing things that I wanted to do. I just needed the creative freedom I had been craving. Recently, we had instances that were becoming more and more frequent where I disagreed with the decisions of Frinco that were being pushed down upon me, and even on a few occasions, I got a little too vocal with my concerns. So then rather than continuing to fight this uphill battle with the corporate structure, I decided it was best to part ways and come up with my own thing. So you may be wondering, what is Fundy Solutions? You've been watching this video this whole time about me talking about starting my own company. Now is the time that I reveal to you. Fundy Solutions will be taking all the mistakes, all the flaws that we find within our cars today, anything that we like to complain about on how the engineers made the mistake, and coming up with our own design and solution to fix the problem. And at the end of the day, we'll be wrapping all this up in a nice, neat little bundle and sending out to the engineers, whoever designed the problem, and let them know that they'd made a terrible mistake. In the meantime, though, I have started a men's underwear line to start with some startup capital so I can get things moving. This is something I could never do while I was at Frinco. Since leaving, Jacob has called me out for a regular cab shortbread truck race. Me, being a Ford man, had to sell my Raptor to pick up a regular cab short bed F-150 5.0. This would be competing against this LS-based platform. However, it would be the biggest smack in the face to lose this race to Frenco, so close to my departure from them. So, I put my house up for sale to get this truck into the nines, and I'll do whatever it takes to prove Frenco wrong and that they made a major mistake pushing me out. We had some great years together. I wish them the best of luck, and most of all, I hope they come to their senses and get back on the right track before it's too late for them. So stay tuned. Follow along for upcoming videos as I prepare my truck for the most important day of my life.
Oh.